All right, so last class again we finished off with the spine, and now we have the neck and head left. So over here in the display layer, I'm going to turn on Max's head, and I want to focus on the animation just in the neck for now. So I'm going to grab the head controller here for Max, and over here in the channel box, I'm going to right click and mute all. And that should mute any animation on this particular controller, and everything that I have will be strictly coming from the neck itself. And let's open up the graph editor here. I'm going to go ahead and dock this down here. And the first thing I want to do is just clean up the attributes here for the head. So it looks like I only have the rotate X, Y, and Z, and really I just need to go through one attribute at a time. And again, just clean this up. So it looks like the X is good for the most part. I just need to fix that handle there. Everything else looks good. Y looks good, and Z looks good. So now I want to go through and start adding in the overlap. Oh, that is not what I wanted. In the neck and head. Oh, not today, Maya. Huh? And so this is going to be pretty similar to what we did with the back. So I do want to look for my contacts, and pretty similar to what we did with the walk cycle, we will have the neck just come slightly back on those contacts, and then we'll look for the passes and have the neck go slightly forwards. When we did the walk cycle, we built these in with a lot of exaggeration. With the run and jump here, I probably don't want to do it a whole lot, just because I don't want to get too far off of the original poses that we set up for the neck. So I am going to be careful about exaggeration here. And so let's just scrub forward, and we're going to look for our contacts. So they're on 20. I'm actually going to take the key that I already have there on, let's see, what axis are we going in? So that backwards and forwards movement on the neck is coming from X, so it looks like we're in the right attribute. I'm just going to take that key there, and it looks like I need to push it down slightly to get that backwards movement. And then let's look for the pass, and this might actually already be good, so I just need this to be higher in value than the previous key. So I could probably leave that where it's at. Let's go to the next contact there. And let's grab this key and push it down. And again, it's going to bring in that slight backwards movement in the neck. And then I do want it to go backwards here to kind of mimic that line of action through the body here. So, we built in this exaggerated arc in the back to anticipate the jump. It'd be nice if we had a similar thing going on here in the neck. So I'm going to grab this key, and it looks like I actually need to push it down. And so this might actually be a little off from our reference. Let's see what's happening here in the reference. So I'm actually looking down as we do this, so I might not exaggerate this as much as the back, but I still want it pointed back a little bit. And then when I adjusted those keys, it looks like we get kind of a choppiness happening here in the curve, so I can just pull this handle up to smooth that back out. Let's see. So we exaggerated the forwards movement in the spine just so we could really feel that impact here on the ground. And it would be nice if my neck continued that same thing here. So I'm going to delete a couple of these keys here just so that the neck starts to go down a little sooner. And then there on 53, right when we get that impact, I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. So we'll just pull that key up for the exaggeration. And then let's look for that next contact there. And again, we're going to take this and push it down just to bring that neck back a little bit. And I'll see what that looks like. Alright, so we got that neck in there. Let's stop that and grab the head. Ooh, this one's got a lot going on. Let's unlock the head. So again, if you'll notice here on the graph editor, there's a bunch of these red X's. If you see that there, it just means the controller's still muted, or if the attributes are tan here in the channel box, again, it's muted. So let's unmute that. Oh, let's unmute all, rather. Let's go in and just immediately start cleaning up this head, since it does have a lot of attributes in it that we don't have animation on. So all of these sort of gray attributes that I know I didn't animate and I'm not going to animate, I'm just going to grab those keys and delete them, clean those out. With the head, I'm not moving it at all in translation, so I'm just going to grab those translate values and delete those as well. And then let's go in and check the attributes that we are going to animate. So it looks like we've animated the X, Y, and Z. So let's go in one at a time and just start cleaning these up. Let's reframe this and then just look for any irregularities here and smooth them out. And that's good. Let's go to the rotate Y. And I'm just going to smooth that out. And I don't actually know what the Y does. I think that might be my side to side. Let's see. I'm actually not really sure why there's any rotation in my Y here until he really shouldn't go side to side or move in Y until we get to go into our settle in or resting pose here at the end. So I might actually just take all these keys here where I want hold. And with those selected, I'll come here into the stats box and just key in a 0. And it should make those align here. And we'll just hold value until the end. And then let's go to the Z here and see what that's doing. And this is kind of similar to the Y-axis. Now this one does a twist side to side like this. I don't really want this to change in value at all until he's ready to look at the camera. So I'm going to take these keys and let's zero these out. Alright, and then let's go into the X and do the same thing we did with the neck. So we're going to look for the contacts. And again, I don't want to really push the exaggeration here, so this ends up tends to be a little more subtle because we don't want to get too far off of our original pose. And we'll just push that back slightly. We'll look for the pass. Push it forward slightly. Look for the next contact. And this one we'll bring down. And then let's see. So I want him to continue looking at the ground, so we're kind of anticipating or looking at where we're going to land. So I'm going to leave that alone. But I would, again, there somewhere around, I think 58. Let's take this key and actually let's do 53, I think is where we built it in. Let's continue that head forward. And I'll see what that looks like. And then we've got a contact there, so we'll just bring this back slightly. A pass here, so we'll bring it forward a little more. Contact, I'm going to take this and push it down, again to bring the head back. And then we have another pass. On this one I can bring up to pull that head forward just a bit. And then let's see what that looks like. So it ends up being pretty subtle. And then, kind of similar to what we did with the walk cycle, it would be nice if the head motion overlapped the neck a little bit and the spine. So I'm going to take all these keys for the head, except for the first one, and I'm just going to shift it down maybe 2 or 3 frames. So we'll do 1, 2, and let's see what that looks like. And then, so that's 2. Let me try 3 frames just to see. That feels a little better. I think the one thing I want to change here is the overlap in the head as we come up here. I kind of wish it would continue to come down. So let's take this key here and actually pull it way up. And then we're going to have a dramatic change from 61 to 63. So I might actually take that key on, or actually 64, and delete it. So we get more of a gradual transition. And I'm just trying to see if I can push that overlap a little more on the head. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to do that. It was better with the more subtle. And I'm just trying to make the ending a little more subtle here. Alright, and that's our neck and head. Let me stop that. And I'm going to save incrementally. And then I will stop the video here, and in the next video we will start the arm.